You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
And a very good evening to everyone who is watching this on this Thursday night or afternoon. We're just over 24 hours away for where my guest will be in action in person in the USA. But it's a pleasure to have on I guess, an American on the show. I feel like in 2024, I don't really get to feature many Americans compared to a few years ago. So it's always nice to hear a different accent on the show for a change. Because again, as I said, we've been featuring more English artists and fighters now. So it's quite good. I'm not complaining. You know, I've been campaigning to that for a long time, and it's been great. But it's always good to have an American on the show. And I'm just rambling on because I'm making sure that my guest is okay for me to introduce him. So I'm looking for a nod or something that he was sharing on his social media, so that his people, his fans, can also tune into this live or on demand as well, because it's just gone 3 p.m. Eastern time. But it's a pleasure to have on this guest, because he only accepted this last week, so quite short notice I gave him. He was there, but he's now showing his picture to us. But we welcome along Chance Prophet. Welcome to the show this evening.
Hi. You're talking about really good accents. Where I'm from, my accent is pretty good too, because I'm from like deep south in West Virginia, and we're a little bit country. So, yeah. It shows up every now and again.
Well, what amazes me is that different parts of the US all have different accents. Some are quite fast, and then some are quite slow. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody out there, but I mean I don't find the accents when they speak very slow, very internet. I like to talk fast, and like, come on, just spit it out. Tell me what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But I can understand, because different areas have different styles of how they get through their sentences.
Yeah, we've got a lot, and just where I live now, you have an Ohio influence, which is very kind of just plain, no real inflection, no drawl, as we say. I ain't got no drawl. Kind of has a little sing song to it.
There you are. There's that West Virginia coming through.
Yeah, and then you have Pennsylvania, which is just like straight Pennsylvania, and then you got West Virginia, and Kentucky, and they get a little bit deeper.
Or you got or you could have a New Yorker, or a New Jersey, or even
got Jersey.
Or you got a Boston out there. That's the best of my American accents go. Unfortunately, good or bad, you can give me a rating on the comment section below out of 10. But no, it's great to have you here. Of course, many people be tuning in thinking, where's the face paint? Where is the real Chance Prophet? This is not Chance Prophet. Well, I can tell you for a fact that it is.
That's me, I promise. I look a lot better in the face paint.
Yeah.
But I keep it tucked away in my wrestling closet until need be.
Fair enough. Good way to be. Talk to us then, because I know you've been a very busy man. You've been to Mexico or going to Mexico. You're wrestling in Ohio, West Virginia, throughout the US, in other states as well. You're booming here in 2024.
Yeah, it's this coming May will make 26 years for me being a pro wrestler. I broke in 1999.
Ooh.
Had a lot of early success with like the NWA. It was fun. It's been a fun trip, and I didn't expect CMLL to be on the radar in like 26 years in. But it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to show you how old you are, because I was born in 1999, so of course I am from that era where everything was meant to crash and all of that craziness, and that the end of the world was going to happen in 1999. Well, we're still here. We're still here, people,
Yep.
and so that just shows you my age. From
Ju-
I am from that era when you started.
It just made a good gimmick for Jericho to run with, is all it did.
Yes,
Y2J.
yes, that's very good indeed, and it's going to be great to see when he retires because he's still going strong in 2024.
Yeah, extremely well traveled, but extremely athletically sound as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, he's well traveled. But yeah, so CMO, talk to us about how did that all happen? Did they just came across your work out of nowhere and reached out to you, or was there a bit of mutual thing that you were trying to get their attention, or something,
It was
or was it somebody else recommending you to come in?
I was actually recommended by a friend of mine that broke in around the same time. He's a little
Okay.
bit younger than me. His name's Troy Markham, and he kind of just put my name in there, and they're like, "Oh, we know of the Demon Clown," and I'm just like,
Wow.
"Demon Clown? Okay." But that's how they refer to me as, and I'm just like, "Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Are they interested?" He's like, "Yeah," and started giving dates, and it's led up to next week. Travel down and have some fun in Guadalajara.
Wow, wow. Well, I hope you have a blast down there. So where can people see them? What's the date and where's the location?
We'll be September 15th in San Rafael Gymnasium. It's in San Rafael Park, but it's in Gimnasio de San Rafael in Guadalajara, Mexico. I don't know if it's going to be live streamed or not, but
Yeah.
I'll, I'll find out more next week.
And of course you'll be posting it all on your social media, which we'll get into shortly. So make sure you stay tuned to Chance Profit's social media because it'll be posted all over that. And I like how you got your pronunciation down to a T there, getting your Mexican, your Spanish up to scratch as you head down to Mexico. And hopefully, if they like how things go, you might be making more appearances in good old Mexico.
It seems like they like me already. I just got to make sure that I can roll really well with their style.
I'm
I
sure.
have the feeling that I'll be doing more catching and throwing than I will be flipping. So
Well, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll be making good impressions with them, and showing them that yes, you should put me in a lot sooner. But I'm glad you have now because I'm here to show you that I am the demon.
the Demon Clown.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you're wrestling tomorrow night before you get to Mexico. So a long time to go before Mexico, unfortunately, because you are got
Yeah,
another person in front of you, which we can show you right here on this lovely graphic. Which I just pinched from Spat Monkey Promotions. Hopefully they don't mind. I'll just give them a free plug. But you can see that tomorrow night with your manager in your corner, you'll be wrestling Lord Crewe. What a great opponent that is going to be for you. And it's going to be happening, of course, at the some local high school. Bout time, 7 p.m. tomorrow night, 7 p.m. local time in the Williamsburg High School, wherever that is, by the way. I'm sure my guest will tell us
Williamsburg,
that.
Ohio.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Lucky them. Lucky Ohio getting to it as that great match.
yeah. Lord Crew is going to be fun. We've tussled before in a tag match with Aaron Williams and he versus me and my tag partner Amos. Um, my manager David Barnabas Spector. He kind of is trying to increase the darkness worldwide,
Yes, he's got a
as
lot
he
of
likes to
clients,
say.
hasn't he?
He sure does. Um, Hopefully he doesn't miscue and cost me the match like he did last time. Not that I'm casting blame or anything, but
Right, okay. This is a bit unusual because this is a bit of a shock for me. This is a second shock in a week for me. Firstly, a guest on Monday night said to me about, I wish this contest went longer. Now tonight, you're kind of calling out your manager, who really you should be standing by and by giving other excuses, but you're blaming your manager for costing you a match. So this might cast maybe some kind of thing going on in the future where maybe he turns on you or vice versa? Could this be the ending of this relationship between you and your manager, which could happen tomorrow night?
Well, considering that I'm supposed to be winning and he inadvertently cost me the last match, I'd see that as almost a breach of contract. So we need to renegotiate our terms
Right.
and see if maybe he needs to either step up to the plate or step aside. Because I usually don't work with managers, and when I do, they have to be willing to be there and do the right thing in order to get me the victory.
Right.
And
Okay.
if he's not going to do that, then what's the point?
So you just mentioned that you don't really work with managers. So how did this relationship come around? By the way, this is an unscripted show. So for anyone who's new
Mhm.
watching, I've not scripted these. My guest does not have a clue what I'm going to say next. Vice versa. This is why it's going to be a big shock to me. So yeah, tell me about who put you two together. Was it David's idea? Was it the promotion's idea? Or was it even your idea?
David reached David reached out to me, and I'm a bit of a mercenary. I'll if the money's right, I'll work for anybody. So he reached out to me, and honestly, he wears the same type of stuff that I did back in the '90s. Um, so there's a little bit of familiarity, and I'm like, well, he's all for the darkness. I'm all for the violence. It kind of goes hand in hand. Maybe we can make this work.
Right.
Um,
So if David is
so
watching this right now, then he might be thinking, this is not looking good on me. I need to get this guy off my paycheck.
or maybe he needs to do a better job at being a manager.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I would not want to be in here. I don't want to be a part of you two tomorrow night. Trust me, because it looks very like tensions are running high.
Yeah, just a little bit,
There's a little bit.
but I
I
mean,
think it's quite a lot more than just a little bit.
just a little bit. I mean, what's a few knuckle sandwiches between friends?
Well, we'll see what happens. You'll be there tomorrow night to witness this great contest. But tell me about this match, and let's move on from David. Tell us why. Why have you been put against Lord Crewe? What's happened there? What's decided to make this contest a must see?
It seems as if the matchmakers just want to see us slug it out because he tends to throw hands and I tend to throw hands, and he throws the mean kicks and I throw mean kicks, and he's a power guy and I'm a bit of a dirty power guy. So I think they just want to see men slapping the taste out of each other's mouth,
Well,
for lack of a better term.
I think the whole Williamsburg High School is going to be looking forward to that tomorrow night to see which one of you will come out victorious. And I know who I think will win, but of course it's not up to me. It's up to you two decide who is going to come out on top tomorrow night in Williamsburg. Now I know it was either the last show or the show before that at Spark Monkey Promotions. You wrestled, I'm going to say, a cowboy, because he wore a cowboy hat to the ring. I hope you know who I mean.
Yes.
Great match. It was quite. People, gave mixed reviews, saying that the fans weren't really involved, like not really involved in the match, like they didn't really care about the match. You were there. You were right there. Do you think the audience did react well to you guys, or do you agree with the online comments that actually no, they were right that the crowd were not really into it? Because the person who recorded the match said the fans were in it. They were loving every minute of it.
Yeah, the fans were into it really heavy. The audio didn't really play into to how crazy they were going. Had a
Fair
couple
enough.
little kids that I had to scare away from the ring because they were trying to get involved. So yeah,
Fair
they
enough.
were into it really well. And Cowpoke Paul, he's a good competitor. He's a
Yes.
good competitor.
Yes, he seems to be.
Um,
He seems to be a good competitor, a good entertaining athlete, just like yourself.
very much so. Very much so. And it was a solid bout. I just ended up being better
Yeah,
that
with
night.
all the craziness and all the distractions with yourself and your manager and all the crazy fans and even getting the referee involved at times as well. Was that all part of your plan?
Well, if a zebra's there, I hunt.
Right. Okay. So, any words for tomorrow night then for the fans to make sure they are rowdier than they are last time out, because you want to make sure that it's heard on the audio.
If they really want to show that they either love Lord Crewe or hate me, you have to be vocal. Spectator sport involves your lungs, and if you want more people to be there to witness your favorite either beating me, or you like the bad guys and you want to see me beat up Lord Crewe, well, be that vocal anyway. Or if you just hate everything altogether, be a rabble rouser, be crazy, be loud. We love it. It feeds the violence.
I love that. Good comments. Good comments by you there, Chance Prophet. And, should any zebras then be scared of you then as well or not?
I do particularly love to pick at the zebras.
Why?
It's just fun because they're supposed to be the official. They're supposed to be the law in the ring, but yet they're so scared of just little old me. I mean, it's not like I'm a very imposing figure. I'm a polite individual. I'm
Well,
just there for catch as catch can.
but they might want to disqualify you tomorrow night, for instance. You might just point the bear now and think, well, actually, I'm not going to DQ this man. As soon as you're going to do something to him, I'm just going to DQ him.
Well, if they do that, then that kind of makes them a target as well.
Right.
And
Okay.
if they're in the way and they so happen to catch a boot or gets thrown out of the ring, so be it.
That's a bit that's a bit of a spoiler. I feel you're giving us there. Is that something you're going to do tomorrow night?
It's just there's always the potential.
Right.
I'm an artist. I like to create. I like to create on the canvas, and sometimes I go off the canvas, and sometimes I throw zebras out of the canvas.
Okay. Well, I think the point here is, if you want to see this fight and many other great fights happening at Spot Monkey Promotions tomorrow night, all you have to be is to be there or be squared. Of course, it's happening at the Williamsburg Middle School and High School Athletics. Of course, bow time is at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's local time there. And just to give her who's not in America tomorrow night at that time, it's actually midnight on a lovely Saturday morning. Of course, that show will not be broadcast live, but it will be recorded and posted on IWTV at a later date, I'm believing. I could be completely wrong about that, but I will double check with Spot Monkey Promotions before just going off my word, because of course I am not actually 100% involved in that promotion, so I don't want to give out any false information. So I will double check with Spot Monkey Promotions on all platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. They're everywhere, so you'll be able to track them down, or even contact Chance Prophet, because you can find him on social media, on Facebook, Chance Prophet, X, Chance Prophet, Instagram, Chance Prophet, also on Threads as well, and also on YouTube. So you can always contact him directly. I'm sure he will love to hear from his fans and new fans from tonight.
And as long as you don't wear zebra stripes, you're safe.
Right, okay. That's hilarious. Okay. Let's move on, because you mentioned earlier about 26 years ago you started in the world of pro wrestling, and you're now getting opportunities to go to Mexico, and and I'm sure over the past 26 years you've been to many wonderful places throughout the US and beyond. Is there still places you would love to visit right now that you've not had the chance to in your 26 career yet?
I still want to wrestle over in your country. I want to come to Great Britain.
You should.
I love your people. I love your country. I would love to come and entertain and make some chaos, bring
Yes.
some craziness your way.
I think you should. I think you should come over here and wrestle the best which we have here in the UK, and you should end your tour right here in the best city in the world, better than Ohio, better than West Virginia or Las Vegas or Germany, right here in good old Manchester, UK, because we are the best in the world, the best city of them all.
You have a popular sports team, don't you?
Well, we used to do, yes. It depends
The
which sports.
United?
It depends what sports team you're talking about nowadays, because one used to be, and now there's the other one which are more successful.
Yeah. I don't pay attention to sports unless there's a ring and a zebra involved, just to be completely honest.
or an opponent involved in that sense as well. That's the
Yeah.
most important to get the W. But you mentioned in the background Manchester United, so I'm guessing you know who they are. Were you a fan, or how did you come across Manchester United?
I dabble in watching some soccer. My kids like it.
Good.
I'm a father of four as well, so my son
Keeps you
he
busy.
loves the football,
Yes, yes, the proper football. Yes, and
the
and
proper
I'm
football.
and I'm glad you like Manchester United. By the way, one of the best teams in the world. Used to be the best team in the world, but of course now not so much at the moment. But hopefully they'll be back to the top of world football where they should be. By the way, I'm guessing you're a big NFL fan. I'm guessing as well, or college football fan. No,
Not so much. Not
no,
so much.
that's
I
quite
was always
surprising.
a baseball guy.
Oh yes, well that's almost ending now. The baseball season, isn't it? They come over here to London for the World Series, London World Series, let's
Hmm.
say, in the summertime. Are you tempted to come over for that?
Uh, it just depends on who's playing. I used to support the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now I'm kind of just I like watching the game as a whole when I can.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So then, you want to come over to Great Britain, so you should come over here. So have you got a time plan or time scale you're wanting to come over here, or you gonna, or have you tried to contact a few promotions to see if they'd be interested in bringing the demon over here?
Well, I've contacted a few, but it's just been few and far between that have actually responded. So I just have to have the right lead in,
Well,
really.
hopefully,
It's like
hopefully by going to CML, that might lead you
Mhm.
to the over here now. Hopefully.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll like I want to go to Japan too before I end everything.
Hmm.
I was supposed to back in the early 2000s, but due to injury, got everything got scrapped.
I'm
So
sorry to hear that. Well, you should reach back out and get them talking to you and get you over there, because you should, because I know I had a guest on many years ago called One Man Crew, and he's wrestled in Japan. He loved Japan. He loved everything about the Japan, about the culture, the food, so on and so on. And so you should go over there for the experience.
I've got a lot of friends that have been going over lately to do a lot with Baka Gaijin, Madman
Oh
Pondo,
yeah.
and they've been having a good time over there.
Well,
Friends,
you should contact one, Pongo, and get him to get you a flight over there.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, you should. You should
Good
contact him.
idea.
Hey,
Why?
do these guys know of me? Because they might say, oh yeah, we do know him. Yeah, we'd be interested in him. Just like see
Yeah,
him out, for instance.
yeah, they've been like it really surprised me. Salvatore told me that, or told Troy, he's like, yes, we've watched him for a while now. We just didn't know that he was willing to travel. I'm like, I've traveled everywhere my whole entire career.
Yeah,
Travel doesn't scare me.
and all you have to do is just ask, innit? Yeah, just reach out and ask, because you never
Yeah,
know. It's never worth asking, because you don't know what the answer's going to be.
yeah,
Like me, I reached out to Eric Bischoff and Al Snow, thinking they would say no or not even respond to me. But guess what? They've been on the show. It
yeah,
is mind blowing. Like
yeah.
Right Said Fred as well. They've been on the show as well. Like I thought they would say no, but no, they were happy to come on the show as well. So anything's possible in the world if you just if you just ask the question, and you never know what the possibilities will be.
Yeah.
So when I reached out to you then, Chance, to come on this show, then did you just because you didn't ask for any links, you didn't ask me for anything really. So did you just take my word for it, or did you knew about the show, or myself beforehand, or what?
just through conversations here and there, and I watched a few of your episodes. I didn't get through through a full episode, mainly because it's just been a crazy time this whole year.
Oh,
But
fair enough.
I love getting on anywhere to talk about wrestling. So it's an easy sell for me if anyone has a podcast and you've got a good following too.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's a it's a small scale show, but as more people come on here, the more people like the way this show is brought across, and hopefully the different broad of questions. Because I will be honest with you, like every time I get asked this question, because people say, "Oh yeah, you must do loads of prep and loads of research." I'm like, no, I don't do barely any research or any prep because I like to know more about the guests I bring on. That's why this show is completely unscripted, because it's just great to hear the other person speak from the heart and not from like a robotic answer box they have in their head. So and also the questions are usually different than what they usually get asked, and I do like, because usually on the show we usually have a great background of where my guest joins us from. But yourself, you've joined us with a nice picture of your face behind you. I'm liking what you've done there with that. A great background.
Yeah, I like to showcase my little artistic ability,
Yeah.
and it's honestly more entertaining than the dad glasses and the shaved head.
So what can we expect tomorrow night then?
Lots of hard-hitting action. I guarantee you that between me and Crew, I hope that I can keep all my teeth and he can as well. But it'll be a good contest.
Good contest.
Really good contest.
Good to see. Hopefully the fans get the money worth. Hopefully the matchmakers of Spot Monkey Promotions will, see that it was worth it having you two fight each other. And will this lead to something in the future then? Is this going to be for a future opportunity at something, or is this just a random fight with the matchmakers just why to see happen?
Well, Crew seems to be in the top contention for the Spot Monkey Championship, so I can't imagine that beating him wouldn't put me right up there too. So, and the champion Ron Matheson, I have a storied history, and that usually involves gold. So.
Yeah. Okay. Great to know. Great to know. Quickly about your, you've got your own school as well, haven't you? And tell us about why you wanted to start a school and how long you've been doing it for.
We started the school in 2019.
Just before COVID.
I started it, right before, and we got hit hard whenever COVID hit. But we went virtual and went over more of the psychological based aspects of pro wrestling, and then went into like working on their character work and promo style, and how they can merchandise themselves once going forward. So just wanted to give them a leg up on that. Not that my training was great. My trainers, that Danny Ray Nelson, no relation to anybody that I know. He just happened upon me doing a local show and said, "Hey, if you'll quit working with these guys, I'll take you on the road with me." And he showed me a little bit more than what most everybody in our area had. And then I continued training in San Bernardino, California, under Jesse Hernandez and a lot of the guys from the New Japan School, with Rocky Romero, Carl Anderson, TJ Perkins, just being able to pour that in, give other people an opportunity, and let them, hopefully, to see them go further than I ever have gone. That's the whole purpose.
Fair enough. Well, you do a very good job, and I know from all the posts I see and from comments I see that people are very supportive and are very happy with your work, and I hope that your school is around for many, many more decades to come. Because it's good. I'm glad you're able to survive, of course, the most brutal time of things, of setting up and then a year after having to do things differently. But I see that things are now back to normal. You're able to run things how you, I guess, initially wanted to when you launched the school back in 2019. So I guess things have worked out in a good way for you, which is good to see. And obviously, karma was on your side at last, which is good as well. Who would you recommend to come on this show after you then, Chance?
If I had to recommend anybody, if are we talking about people that I regularly fight against or team with, or from my school?
Anyone at all, anyone who pops in your
Uh,
head.
um, First person to pop in my head, just because they're such a character, Casey King. Um, Troy Parker, one of my he's I don't try to play favorites, but he's the student that's gone the farthest so far. He's faced Kenta. He's done a lot of great things in under 2.5 years.
Wow.
Another would be Micah. She's one of my students. She's also debuting for CMLL next week as well. So
Impressive.
a lot of good people.
Yeah.
You could probably interview Lord Crewe. He's not a He's got a better beard than me, but that's about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, is there anything else you would like to mention before we end this chat? Was there anything else you would like to get off your chest, which you may think that I should have done, but I did not mention, so you might want to mention it? I'll give you the final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I love pro wrestling. I hope that everyone enjoys pro wrestling and gets more than the corporate flavor that we have in the States. Seek out the independents that are really pushing the envelope. The GCWs. There are a lot of good ones out there. Black Label Pro just has gone to another level. Keep an eye on Spot Monkey because they do a great job as well. And I can only see growth from them because it's just a solid crew led by a solid promoter.
Yeah, absolutely. And quickly on something else I forgot to bring up to you, but this is going to be it. This is the last thing. Will you be watching the Mr. McMahon documentary when it comes out on Netflix on the 25th of September? Because, you know, as he used to say, "We're live, pal." And, you know, those famous words by, "You're fired."
Most definitely that man. If not for him, I venture to say that wrestling would not be where it is. His personal choices have tarnished everything he could ever hope to accomplish. So I'm interested to see the downfall. Like to see, because I met him back when I was doing tryouts, and like the respect level was there, but you just didn't know all the craziness was going on. You always heard about the stuff that would happen, but I want to see how it plays out and just peel back that fourth wall a little bit to see why someone so brilliant could go so wrong.
Yeah, good point. Good point to end on there. But did you like my impressions there? How would you rate them out of 10?
It was great. I loved it. That's good stuff.
That's a good impression right there. There you go. I love that as well. Yeah. I don't think I could do that. I can do "You're fired."
You're fired.
But I can't do that anymore, unfortunately, because of course, you know, he's a bit like, he's not allowed to be mentioned anymore, but because of his own choices, obviously. But I would love to do that, you know, on any wrestling show. If you need someone to be fired, hire me for the night. You're fired.
Let's put him out there. Spot Monkey Promotions.
Yeah, there you go. I would love
bring
to
him across the pond.
Yeah, bring me in. I would love to do that to Lord Crewe. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. Best of luck tomorrow night. Best of luck for Mexico as well. Hopefully it'll be a start of something great, and that will lead hopefully for you to come over here to our great country as well to hang with the good guys and, you know, show everyone why you are the best in the world at the moment with all these great opportunities you're getting. But yeah, can't wait to see what else you do, and I hope you'll come back on the show again soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
No problem at all. Thank you for your time again. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like it on YouTube, share the video around, tell everyone about Chance Profit, tell them more about me, tell them that you should subscribe to this channel right now. We've got over 5 subscribers. So thank you very much to each and every person who
Bump
subscribed
that up.
to this channel. Help me to get to 300 subscribers. Never thought I would say that word in my life. But yeah, help me get to 300 subscribers, please, on youtube.com/Edward Fowler. Until the next episode, which, by the way, will not be that long because it'll be next Tuesday with a singer. So I can't wait for that one. So join me next Tuesday, September the 10th, live on YouTube. Make sure you be at Chance Prophet's show tomorrow night. It's going to be great. He's going to be wrestling Lord Crewe, as we mentioned before. But until the next episode, enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening.